Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to our very first Gathering Storm Let's Play for Civilization 6. And as you can see, we're going to be playing as Phoenicia. I actually just did a bunch of randoms until it popped up with the very first Gathering Storm new civilization, and Phoenicia was the one that popped up. So here we go. Kind of some things about Phoenicia, if you haven't looked at any of the first impression video or anything like that. One of her most unique traits is that she can move her capital, her original capital, to some other city by completing a unique project in her city. So that's going to make things very dynamic and allow us to probably protect ourselves a little bit. If we think our capital is about to get taken, we can always move it if we have time to another location and not lose our original capital, things like that. But let's go ahead and jump into some more of these things, and we'll kind of see how these will play into each other and come up with a strategy that we want to play as. So we already talked about they can move the capital to a city with a Kothon, the Kothon being her unique harbor district. It's a very cool looking district, very circular. She does get +1 trade route capacity for each government plaza building and the government plaza district. So we want to get our government plaza up as soon as possible and get all those buildings in as soon as they come up so that we can get as many trade routes going as possible. She gets +50% production towards districts in the city with the government plaza. So the government plaza itself, is only going to be in one city. We're not going to be able to move that around, unfortunately, but all the other districts in that particular city are going to be able to get produced faster. So more than likely, we're going to put that on our bigger city or something, or the city that we think will become the biggest, because it'll be the one that will have the most districts anyway, and we want to make sure that we can take advantage of that as much as possible. As far as some of the other bonuses, she begins the game with writing technology, Eureka. She also has the coastal cities founded by Phoenicia and located on the same continent as the Phoenician capital are 100% loyal. You cannot lose loyalty for your coastal cities that are on the same continent as your capital. Now, this plays into the whole idea of moving our capital around. If our first continent doesn't have a whole lot of cities, or if we feel very secure in the loyalty of our first continent, we can move our capital to one of the other continents that might be closer to our enemies and secure that 100% loyalty as long as those other cities on that other continent that we have founded are on the coast. So something to keep in mind there. It does not work, from my understanding, it does not work for cities that you capture, only your original cities that you found. So something to think about there as well. Settlers gain +2 movement and +2 sight range while embarked. So that's going to be helpful, help us get across the oceans and settle some very prime locations wherever we can. Settlers ignore additional movement costs from embarking and disembarking. That's just kind of a nice flavor extra, nice to have. She does have the Bireme unique unit, which is an upgrade from the Quadreme. And it's just better in every way, basically. We can jump into some of the stats here in a moment. And then, of course, the Kothon, which is her unique district. We'll look at that here in a moment as well. Let's go ahead and begin the game. I'm excited. I've been waiting for this for so long. This is going to be a good one. A couple of things I will point out is we do have the map set on shuffle, so I have no idea what the map's got in store for us, as well as the fact that I went ahead and bumped up the disasters to a level 4 because I just wanted crazy randomness, insanity as much as I could. So I thought about just doing a level 3 because that already adds in the extra ring of disasters from volcanoes. Currently, at the normal level, they can only impact one tile away. But on 3 and 4, the level 3 and level 4 disasters, they can go as far as 2 tiles away with their disasters. So we're playing on level 4, the maximum you could possibly have. So we're going to have a lot of disasters, a lot of crazy ones, and a lot of very, very impactful disasters, if you will. But I feel like that might kind of mix things up and if anything, make the game a little bit more challenging. Because obviously we know the AI is not, unfortunately, not super challenging once you get kind of past the middle of the game in Civilization. But I figure if we throw in some of the map, randomness, that might add a layer of challenge for us as well. But anyway, here's our quick little intro to Gathering Storm. We'll kind of jump through this real quickly. The World Congress is back, so we're going to be able to kind of vote on different resolutions and things of that nature. So that's going to be good to see as we jump into some more of that. Diplomatic favor is how you vote on those, and we can get diplomatic favor in a lot of different ways. One of the ways is you can trade for it. You can promise not to settle near people, different things like that. So we'll see how we get diplomatic favor as we jump in. Also being suzerain of people, things like that will be another good way to get some diplomatic favor. There's a new diplomatic victory, if you haven't seen that. As you progress and get more and more diplomatic favor, at some point, the World Congress will allow you to vote to get a couple of diplomatic victory points. And so, that might be something that we key in on and try to shoot for. I don't know if we'll necessarily go for that with Phoenicia. I'm not saying we can't, but we'll have to see how the game plays out to really determine which victory type we want to go for. The previous warmonger system has been replaced with this whole grievance thing. The idea here is that if somebody offends you, like does something bad against you, for example, they surprise declare war on you, well, then you have grievances against them. And so if then as a result of that war, maybe a subsequent war, you actually take one of their cities, the rest of the world might just kind of turn the other way and say, you know what? That's justified because they had grievances against you and you were able to take a city back from them without causing any, further pain for yourself, if you will. People won't start branding you warmonger and stuff like that. So that's a cool little extra feature, I think. Here's obviously starting to talk about some of the natural disasters. Flood's going to be a big one we're going to have to deal with. Volcanoes, the coast rising up as the CO2 levels go up, things like that. Hurricanes, tornadoes, dust storms, the works. There's going to be so many different possible disasters that we're going to have to deal with. It's going to be kind of crazy, kind of cool to play with. Again, here's the volcanoes, which we're near mountains. I don't think I see any volcanoes yet. Geothermal is a new feature that provides additional amenities or tourism for specific nearby buildings and districts. So we'll have to jump into that a little bit more as well, if we come across any. Strategic resources. Oh, this is a big one. There's two different types of strategic resources, fuel and material. Either one of the strategic resources are now consumable. And what I mean by that is, you build them up. Like if I have an iron mine that's giving me 2 iron per turn or something like that, but it cost me 10 iron to make a swordman. I'm just using arbitrary amounts here. I haven't actually looked at the Civilopedia to see what the exact amounts are, but just as an example, that means I have to wait 5 turns worth of iron to get up to that 10 to be able to buy that swordman. And once I buy that swordman, that iron goes back down to 0, and then I have to build it back up again. So it's a consumable type of resource. That's for the material side of things. Fuel works similarly, except that when you build, like, say, a tank later on in the game that uses, I think, oil, it'll actually use a certain amount of oil per turn on top of whatever it cost you to buy it in the first place. So that's another thing to think about. And then, of course, there's power as well. A lot of the districts and buildings will have an extra level of bonus. You can get extra gold, get extra culture or whatever, if you can get power hooked up to your specific cities. And so power is definitely going to be something we look into, but we have to be careful with our power because some of the power puts out more CO2 than others, and that can kind of play towards the whole rising of the oceans and things like that. So again, lots of things to look at. We'll have to look at the world climate screen and keep an eye on that, especially since I have it maxed out right now. So that's going to be fascinating to see. But yeah, there's going to be lots of stuff here. Anything here I want to read about? Don't think so. But I think that's it. There's our boost to writing that we already knew about. Another thing, canals. Obviously, right here, we can move 1 tile to the left and have a canal city. But just about any city, I say just about, there are a lot more cities that can be canal cities in this game because of the fact that they've added in canal districts. You can add up to 2 canal districts per city. 3 if you can get the Panama Canal. So for example, if I wanted to settle in place, I could put a canal here and a canal here. Well, I guess I wouldn't need one in both places, but I could put a canal between me and the coast and still make this a canal city without having to actually settle on that spot right there. So that's something to take into account, something to think about, that we can kind of hook up a bunch of lakes and connect cities that might normally be internal continental cities, kind of actually give them an outlet to the ocean, which would be very useful. All right, all that talking and planning and whatnot, let's jump in and see what we want to do here. Obviously, we want to have coastal cities because that coastal city is going to be very important for us. So does this actually count as a coastal city since this is internal? I don't think it does it? It's coastal to a lake, but I don't think that would actually count. And obviously, we could still put a harbor in the city if we wanted to leave in place. And I would kind of like to stay in place because it is a Plains Hills, and Plains Hills are very, very nice, to be fair. But I'm also kind of just liking where I'm at on the Plains Hill, but I'm also thinking about going to just make this an old-fashioned canal city by just settling right here and being able to open up this lake if we needed to get in and out of there. It is an idea. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It does open up the crabs over here if we move over 1 to the left. We do lose the rice, but we also open up a couple more spots next to this mountain if we want to put some districts down or something like that. That's always a possibility. Whether we settle in place or we settle up here, either location will be off the river because this doesn't count as the river, I don't think. Pretty sure it does not. So neither place is going to gain us the river. We can always move down here to get next to the river. But we don't get any bonus like production or anything like that from that particular city location. I'm kind of just thinking making this an old-fashioned, old-fashioned canal city. We can put a harbor here at some point with the 2 resources. That might come in handy. What is this? Those are just woods, right? Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that. I'm kind of digging the idea of just moving up here. It actually puts 1, 2, 3 the wheat in range as well. If we move up here, why not? Let's move off the. I like the Plains Hills. Don't get me wrong. I love the Plains Hills. I think it's a great tile to settle on, but I kind of like the idea of just going and opening this up to see what this kind of does for us as we go from there. Plus, I kind of really want to be on the coast. I must be honest. I want to be on the coast so that I have a lot more options later down the road. Let's actually turn on some stuff. Let's turn on some yield icons just for the early game. I don't usually like to leave them on long term. They kind of annoy me at some point, but I think for now that'll be a good start. I'm not seeing any of the notifications that tell me where the sea levels might be rising, so I don't know if that's a label that I don't have checked, or if it's just none of these are going to rise up at all, which would be kind of interesting. Yeah, let's just move off and settle over here. I think I'm going to be okay with that. We can work, a 2 production tile right away. We'll have this. We could put a mine here if we decide to go that route, or again, a district at some point. I think I'm okay with this. Go ahead and get that bonus for settling on the coast. And there we go. All right, research. I do think being on the coastal side of things is going to be very important to us. There is our Byreme, which does have increased combat strength and movement. Plus, oh, that's right, that's the big one. Trader units are immune to being plundered if they're within 4 tiles of Byreme and on a water tile. So having sea-based trading, trade routes is actually going to be really good for us if we can keep our Byremes around long enough to protect them. That's going to be very useful. And what's the other thing that we want to look at? The Kothon. So the Kothon gets plus 50% production towards naval units and settlers in the city that it's in, which is obviously a big deal. Plus, all wounded naval units in the city's borders heal to plus 100 HP each turn, which obviously is their maximum. So that is also really, really cool as well. So we're going to have these Kothons everywhere that we possibly can to get that boost to settlers, get that boost to the naval units. In fact, we probably want to beeline the Kothon as soon as possible so that we can have an increased production for some of these early settlers that we want to get out anyway. So that actually might be a really, really solid idea. If I plug that in, what does it look like? It's going to try and go down to astrology first and then sailing. Well, let's do sailing first, since we've already got the boost to that. And then we'll see about astrology after that. Maybe we can get us a natural wonder. All right, first things first. Let's go ahead and grab us a scout, I think. I think that's going to be a good start here. We did already found a new continent. Let's see here. Oh, I guess it's counting the continent we're on as a new continent. That seems a little... I feel like I shouldn't have got that. Maybe we didn't get the bonus. Never mind. I was thinking we got the bonus for it. I was like, wait a minute. I don't think we should get the bonus for the continent we're living on. All right, here we go. We are playing on Deity difficulty. I don't know if I called that out or not. So, with the maximum craziness on the disaster, this is going to be a bit of a tough game, I think. I think it's going to be fun, though. I'm looking forward to it. You know what? Actually, let's double check what you're working. I am actually okay with this. It's going to give us a little bit of gold plus the double food. I'm okay with this start. I want the city to grow fairly quickly here. Oh, there's a goodie hut and an encampment already. Wow. Definitely want to take care of that as soon as possible because barbarians can be very, very tough to deal with early on. I'm going to grow just before this scout comes out, so that's going to be helpful. I'm going to go ahead and rest you a tick and then go ahead and start attacking again after that. Let's rest you again. I wonder whose border these are up here. Could be a city-state. We'll find out here as soon as we take this encampment here in a moment. Now, what do we want to do for Golden Age and Heroic Ages and stuff? Actually is an interesting thought to think about. Like, what... We're going to come into our prime here in the Classical Age, I should say. Once we get our Kothans and start throwing those around, that's really when we start trying to produce a whole bunch of settlers and things like that. So, trying to push for a Golden Age as early as possible could be very useful. It's not going to be easy, but possible, especially if we get our Byreme out and a Kothon out, get both of those out pretty early. we might be able to squeeze in a golden age here in this first era. Here's our scout. We'll move you up this way. All right, production. I usually like to try and go for a early slinger, try to get that boost as well. So we'll go ahead and lock that in, with the expectation that we're probably going to have some barbarian issues at some point in the near future. There's a lot of green over here, so some good places for cities down this way as well. All right, let's go ahead and use you to attack again. Got a promotion. The Jordan River. Okay, I guess it's our first river that we found. That's fine. I'm trying to think if there's another civilization that would have called this Jordan River. I don't think so. I think that is actually us. So that is okay. Jerusalem. How convenient. We got the Jordan River and we have Jerusalem. That's kind of interesting, actually. Okay, meta city-state. No, I don't want you to move over there. Dude, stop it. City-state quests and a trade route, which I think we will be very open to do. Barbarian encampment destroyed. And you keep trying to go all the way down there, which I don't want you to do. Cancel your movement, dude. All right, whatever. It's being really weird. All right, you got a promotion available. That is fine. What are you working over here? So you're working this 1 food, 2 production. We don't have a lot of food to start off here. So that is going to be a bit of a negative. We did move a little bit away from some of these better food tiles over here. But once we start hooking up some of these sea resources, I think we'll have a lot more food coming in, which will be fine. Now this is fine. I think we're working the right stuff at the moment. There's our access to our biremes as well as fishing boats. Allows builders to embark. Should be very nice since we do have a couple good resources out there. Still haven't found a natural wonder. I'm going to start working on astrology just to get it working a little bit, but we may stop that one part way. I'm going to move you 1 and then give you your promotion. We'll do battle cry. I think that's going to be fine. What is Jerusalem's bonus? Holy sites exert pressure as if they were holy cities. Okay, cool. Well, I don't know if we're going to go the religion game or not. I mean, wasn't really feeling it necessarily, but we might consider at least some level of religion, even if we're not going for a religion victory, that's necessarily. Alrighty. Would like to get a builder out pretty quickly. We could go and get a settler out, but I kind of would like to wait for the settler for when we get our Kothon. I know there's a long ways to wait, and so maybe we shouldn't wait that long. Maybe we should get at least 1 early settler out sooner. Yeah, I think we need at least get 1 settler out sooner. Even though we're going to get a bonus later on, we can use that for any subsequent settlers, but I don't think we can wait as long as it takes to get the Kothon to get a settler out. All right, I'm going to start circling you back home just for some protection. We already got a scout running around out there. Got a slinger here that we kind of move out a little bit. Zanzibar. I feel like Zanzibar is a pretty good one. Just gives you cinnamon cloves luxury resource, which is obviously very good. It wasn't the one I was thinking of. I was thinking it was one that was related more to trade routes, but no, this one's a good one as well. Will come in handy for some amenities. What is it you want? You want inspiration for foreign trade. Well, I would like that as well.
That is best.
Alrighty. I have a feeling we're going to be dealing with some more barbarians very soon, so we're going to plug that in. And we'll go ahead and grab the faith and gold in the capital. Try and get us at least a pantheon, if nothing else. And what are we going to go for here? Start working on craftsmanship, because we already have the boost to military tradition. We might go that direction. We may also jump off that partway through. So we're going to bring you down here. In fact, actually, we're going to start moving you down here as well. Deal with this other barbarian encampment before it gets out of hand. Oh, another goodie hut. Ooh, got us a free builder unit. That is very helpful, actually. Yeah, I think we will go ahead and hook up these whales right away. Get us an early luxury resource. Get us some extra amenities to help us grow even bigger. More stuffs. If we get up to 3 amenities at least, we'll have plus 10% for all of our non-food yields, and I think it's 20% for food. I could be getting that confused with Scotland's bonus. I can't remember. Oh, that only gave us one. Sorry, because we can only use the. That's right. We only use the whales once per city. But yeah, it's 10% and 5% now. If we get up one more amenity, we'll be at 20% and 10% non-food yields. So that'll be very nice to get as soon as possible. Let's start circling this scout a little bit more north, just to see if we can scout out a little bit more of this fog here to see where else we want to settle. I mean, I don't know that settling up here in the desert would be the greatest. We probably will put our second settle down here, probably right on the Jordan River. Very likely. We might cover up one of these cows, which isn't super ideal, but I think it'd be okay. All right, so we hooked that up. Let's hook up. What do I want to do now? Can't do a mine yet. So I guess we can't really do much of anything right this second. I was thinking this was a sea resources, but it's just a reef. Can't really buy out to anything just yet either. That's going to be helpful. Because I think the crabs are too far away. And like I said, if we get mining, we can stick a mine on one of these, which we may look into that here in a moment. Oh, hello, Spearman. I mean, you're a little bit scary, but I'm always going to take a shot, and then I should be able to at least get my warrior down there close to you before you take too much damage. So as you can see here, you can see the little canal going through our city now to get from the lake and back. So it's really cool. I love a lot of the new art is really, really cool. All right, so you're getting attacked by something. Ooh, you have a slinger as well. Alrighty. It's going to make this a little bit more interesting. And by interesting, I mean a little bit more scary. I don't know that I want to stay in place. I don't want this slinger to get a shot at me and then the spearmen. So I'm actually thinking about moving to this hill back here. Does leave this warrior open to 2 attacks, but... actually, the warrior couldn't get attacked twice. One of them would take this lowland, attack him, and the other one would not be able to get up there. So I think moving you back here is fine. All right, anything for you, Mr. Builder? Not at the moment. We're going to put you to sleep. We got you for free, so I'm not too concerned about the fact that we're not using you right away. Ooh, 4 food tiles. 4 food, 2 production. I was going to say, I bet this is a... I bet there's a wonder right here. A natural wonder. Maybe. That feels like a little bit high for not having a natural wonder there. Okay, so I was correct. Only one of them was able to get right up on me. I think attacking you here is fine. And then... I think I fortify you. I mean, it's possible between the slinger and the spearman they can kill me. I don't think they can, but it's possible. So, maybe it's a mistake, but we'll see. Yep, there we go. I guess we can see part of the writing. I just didn't recognize the name. Doubles the terrain yields of all adjacent tiles. Which is why we're getting some really good tiles over here. Man, we could put a city... Trying to see if there's a place to put a city, still get a canal over to this. Probably not without the Panama Canal. Actually, what we could do is... I think there's a way for us to put a city here and the city back up here somewhere to still find a way to get canals through there. I'd have to look at it. Obviously, canals are completely new, so I'm not 100% sure how they work, but let's take Alpine, I guess. So that's 3 error score right there. No, don't want you to move over there. Okay, so they did split their attacks, which is kind of what I was expecting. Oof. We do have a promotion here. That's going to be helpful. So they did change the garrison a little bit. Provides 10 combat strength when occupying either an improvement that it provides defensive strength or a district. So it used to just be districts. Now it includes anything that provides defensive strength, which is cool. Which I think that includes. I'm guessing that includes forts. Is what I'm guessing that's coming to. So we're gonna take volley though. It's relevant to what we're doing right this second. Ooh, I can come down here and be very weak. I still think we have the advantage against the spearmen though. So I think this is a safe attack. He's got slightly more health than me, but I've got the advantage being a melee unit to his. Oh, there's a coast right there. Oh yeah, absolutely. We can definitely stick a city up that way. In fact, I'm thinking a city right here could even get. Well, I don't know if I'd want to put canals on these really nice tiles, but I definitely think a city up that direction is going to be very critical. Somebody's already completed the bath, which is a new natural wonder. In fact, or a new wonder that you build. Great Bath. Floodplain tiles along the river containing the Great Bath are now immune to flood damage, though the food and production bonuses from flooding drop by 50%. Floodplains tiles belonging to the city gain +1 faith for each time flood damage is mitigated. So, kind of an interesting wonder. Can definitely come in handy if you're, along some big rivers with a lot of floodplains. Alright, so we did finish off astrology. We got the bonus from finding that, so that was good. You're going to sneak up here, do an attack. Oh, they did not kill it. I do want to kill with my slinger. I'm going to back you off. That way he can't attack you. He may run away. The idea is that I want to scooch up and get the kill with the slinger. Alrighty. Improved 2 sea resources. We've got 1 improved already. So that's a start. Still, even if we got the second one, it'd still be like 20-something turns to get that. So, I think on that note, we'll go ahead and pick up mining real quick, because we do know we have some hills that would be good to mine. Obviously, working our way up to campuses would be really good as well, which we already have that boosted to. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go and go. Since we already have it boosted, let's go ahead and get the campus out of the way. I think we've got a couple decent locations for that. Oh, there's some floodplains right there. It's kind of lightly, or I say lightly colored. It's darker colored is what I meant to say. Represents the new floodplains. Now, the old floodplains are gone. Like the whole system of the floodplains that we used to have are gone. It's this new system now where any tile that has this coloring on it can flood over if the river floods. So, unless you build like obviously the bath would be one thing that mitigates it, or a dam can also mitigate the flooding as well. We have a lot of good settled locations down here, I think. Got 7 turns on our settler, 4 turns now with that extra pop that we just got. All right, so you did run back there, which is completely understandable. I don't really think we have anything to do with you right this second. I'm going to heal you in place just in case we need you for this, like if something else pops out unexpectedly. But if it looks like we grab that, we'll go ahead and move you back to the city here momentarily. Medjurda River. No volcanoes yet. Alright, there's our kill with you. There's a nice boost. And bronze working. Very cool. Oh, that's right. We got different. I was like, what is this? This is all the new reports that we have now, which is kind of cool. Yields, resources. I was trying to click the timer for the next golden age. That's usually where it is. That button is. We got all sorts of new things here. There's resources. But anyway, there's the era progress right there. So we've got about 17 turns left to get quite a few points. Now, if we can get one of our ships out, if we can get our Kothon out, it's possible. But we'll see. I mean, there's a point right there. 2 points, actually. Ooh, a lot of desert here. Hamad Desert. All right, we're going to go ahead and move you back to the city. Be a little bit cheaper for me to buy the crabs now. Kind of tempted to do that. Just because I want to hook up another sea resource at least. Let's do that. I mean, if we want to get the gold back, we could obviously work the tile itself, get a lot of gold back as well. But I do want to go ahead and get that hooked up, and then we can just put something somewhere else. Probably go for mining at some point in the near future and hook up one of these to get the craftsmanship boost. If we find one more city-state, we've got that boost as well. All right. Anything for you to do right this second? Not really. I could come park you out here somewhere to keep an eye on things. Honestly, I could probably just leave you where you're at. Because like I said, I think our next city will be probably on one of these cows. Very likely. Probably this one, so we can work this 3 food tile here, as well as that 3 food tile right away. Doesn't get us the silver, though. If we come here, we actually get some extra cows and silver. And those crabs still. That actually would be a little bit better. Does get us a little bit less food initially, but does eventually get us some of this other stuff down here that we might not bother settling a city down here to get the silver otherwise. So that actually is probably good. We're going to set you right there to keep an eye on things. I think that's fine. All right, here comes our settler very soon. All right, let's go ahead and hook that up. There's a boost to navigation for our Kothons. One more turn on craftsmanship. And then we can swap off of that. I think actually I'm going to swap off it right now. We'll get another thing hooked up here momentarily. Oh, there's a barbarian encampment popped up right there. All right, what do we want you to do? Well, you're about to have a settler here that can come help you hook something up anyway. So why don't we move you down this way? And be ready to connect something. Although we have neither the animal husbandry or the farming irrigation. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Irrigation is... Farms are free, right? You don't need irrigation for farms. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Irrigation just gets us plantations. Derp. All right. So yeah, then we can hook up the farm down here if we want to. All right, Mr. Scout. I think I am just for the moment going to take this attack. Slow this guy down a little bit, but I do need to move something up there. We're going to move you there, get you healed up, and then we'll move you up to deal with that barbarian encampment before it becomes a problem. All right, you're going to move down to there. Unescorted at the moment, but we can see pretty much all of this. So it's very unlikely that anything will come along to interfere with that. Alrighty. Well, apparently Stonehenge is still out and about. Kind of tempted to go and get the Byrene. Another military unit could be useful as well. Let's go and get our Byrene out. Start getting some more exploration out on the seas. Alright, you're going to go ahead and heal up a couple ticks. You are going to move over to probably one of the things we want to farm, I think. Alright, well, we know it's there. I'm not going to go down there at the moment. There's a goodie hut. Hopefully that turns into something nice for us. You're working two food tiles, both of which have at least a production. I think those are better than this, so I think I'm okay with this for the moment. Yeah, it's okay. Even if we unlock it, it will still pick that. All right, well, that's a start. We're about to get our second city here very soon. And then once we start getting our Kothons now, we can get even more settlers out after that, because they'll be a lot quicker to produce. But I think for right now, we're going to go ahead and put a cut in here. I do appreciate you watching. Hopefully, you're as excited about the Gathering Storm expansion as I am. I'm really looking forward to some of the cool features and things like that we can dive into. But I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.